Money has always been a powerful tool, and history shows how wealth often acts as a shield against accountability. The influence of wealth extends beyond luxury, shaping societal perceptions and legal outcomes. Across the globe, the rich have used their resources to protect themselves from the repercussions of their actions, creating a cycle of impunity. The question isn't whether this shield exists, but how it is built, maintained, and weaponized. In this video, we'll explore the mechanisms that allow wealth to shield the powerful, uncovering how societal complicity, institutional failures, and media influence enable these systems to persist. Let's start. High-profile cases like Jeffrey Epstein highlight the mechanisms behind this shield. Epstein, once a financier with ties to the world's most powerful individuals, epitomized how wealth can insulate individuals from justice. His rise to prominence was intertwined with secrecy and strategic alliances, often obscuring the true nature of his activities. Known for his lavish properties and private jet, Epstein cultivated an image of sophistication and influence. However, beneath this facade, he ran a complex operation involving the exploitation of young women and girls. For decades, his victims' voices were overshadowed by his connections and ability to manipulate systems in his favor. Epstein's ability to evade justice wasn't a matter of luck, but a testament to how wealth buys silence, manipulates systems, and builds a network of complicity. His 2008 plea deal is one of the most infamous examples of this dynamic. Despite credible and overwhelming evidence of serious crimes, he was handed a lenient sentence that allowed him to leave jail on a work release program 6 days a week. This outcome was largely a result of his legal team's power, extensive resources, and influence over key decision-makers. Wealth's reach isn't confined to the courtroom. Public relations campaigns serve as another critical layer of this shield, shaping public narratives and deflecting attention. Epstein, for example, used his considerable resources to donate millions to prestigious institutions like Harvard University, bolstering his image as a philanthropist. These acts were not altruistic, but calculated moves to associate his name with credibility and respectability. The media, often influenced by these narratives, played a role in muting critical coverage of his activities for years. Beyond these direct efforts, wealth creates layers of complicity within institutions and among individuals. The rich often surround themselves with enablers, people and organizations that benefit from their patronage and, in turn, protect their interests. Epstein's circle included high-profile individuals and institutions that profited from his connections, ensuring that few were willing to challenge his actions openly. This network of complicity extended to law enforcement, legal professionals, and even journalists, who hesitated to expose the full extent of his crimes. The role of social conditioning and celebrity culture. Building on the previous chapter, it becomes clear that wealth alone isn't always enough to protect individuals from scrutiny. Society's fascination with fame and fortune plays an equally important role. Celebrity culture amplifies this dynamic, fostering an environment where individuals are idolized to the point of near invincibility. The public often becomes complicit, intentionally or unintentionally, in enabling the wrongdoings of powerful figures through adoration and selective blindness. Celebrity worship shapes perceptions, often allowing fans to separate the art from the artist, even when allegations arise. R. Kelly's career offers a stark example of this phenomenon. Despite facing accusations of sexual misconduct for decades, his music retained a loyal fan base. Albums like 12 Play and Chocolate Factory solidified his position as an R&B legend, and fans clung to his work, even when evidence of abuse surfaced. His 2008 acquittal on child pornography charges didn't stem from a lack of public knowledge, but from a societal tendency to downplay allegations against beloved figures. His talent, combined with carefully curated media appearances, shielded him from significant backlash for years. Media narratives further reinforce this dynamic. Tabloids and entertainment news outlets often shy away from holding celebrities accountable, choosing instead to focus on their professional achievements or personal struggles that frame them as victims. This approach humanizes offenders while diverting attention from their misdeeds. The power of this narrative control was evident in R. Kelly's ability to release music like I Believe I Can Fly and maintain a reputation as an inspirational artist, even as allegations of abuse multiplied. Social conditioning plays a critical role in shaping how society views celebrities. From an early age, individuals are exposed to media that glorifies fame and fortune, creating an aspirational lens through which they view the rich and famous. This conditioning leads to a psychological phenomenon known as the halo effect, where people attribute positive qualities to individuals based on a single trait or achievement. In the case of celebrities, their talent or success often overshadows any negative aspects of their behavior. This effect not only discourages critical thinking, but also fosters a culture of silence, where questioning a beloved public figure feels like an act of betrayal. The complicity extends beyond fans to the people and industries that profit from the celebrity's success. Record labels, publicists, and media outlets have a vested interest in maintaining the image of their star clients. R. Kelly's team, for example, worked tirelessly to silence victims and suppress damaging stories, ensuring his career remained lucrative. The financial incentives tied to celebrity status create a network of protection that prioritizes profits over accountability. Celebrity culture doesn't just enable complicity, it actively rewards it. By creating an aspirational image of untouchable fame and wealth, it discourages scrutiny and allows the powerful to operate with impunity. Institutional complicity and systemic failures. Transitioning from societal behavior, the conversation shifts to the institutional failures that protect the wealthy from accountability. While societal fascination with fame creates a layer of protection, the deeper issue lies in how institutions and systems enable this behavior. The wealthy navigate these structures with ease, exploiting their weaknesses to escape the consequences of their actions. Law enforcement plays a key role in this dynamic. There are numerous cases where authorities hesitate to pursue allegations against high-profile individuals. These delays are often the result of pressure from powerful networks or a reluctance to challenge individuals with significant influence. Political connections further complicate the picture. The wealthy often form ties with influential policymakers or government officials who can provide a shield against scrutiny. These relationships create an environment where the law is applied unevenly, favoring those with money and power. Instead of pursuing justice, institutions sometimes work to maintain the status quo, prioritizing the interests of the elite over fairness. Another significant issue is the use of legal loopholes and settlements to avoid accountability. Non-disclosure agreements, confidential settlements, and other legal tools are routinely used to suppress evidence and silence victims. These mechanisms allow the powerful to resolve allegations quietly, ensuring their reputations remain intact. High-profile individuals like Jeffrey Epstein used these strategies to suppress lawsuits and silence critics, perpetuating a cycle of impunity. Institutions themselves often become complicit, not only through inaction, but by actively enabling harmful behavior. Industries and organizations tied to influential figures may prioritize their own survival over the pursuit of justice. By aligning with wealth and power, these institutions reinforce a culture where accountability is rare and often delayed until the damage is irreversible. Diddy's allegations and the power of influence. The conversation around wealth, power, and impunity wouldn't be complete without addressing the allegations against Sean "Diddy" Combs. His history of alleged abuse, particularly involving Cassie, demonstrates how influence and resources create a powerful shield. Cassie's claims about Diddy describe years of manipulation, control, and physical abuse. One of the most shocking incidents involved a video showing Diddy pulling her hair and assaulting her in a hotel. The release of this video not only validated her lawsuit, but also revealed the lengths to which wealth and influence can suppress accountability. Allegations suggest that hotel staff allowed Diddy to purchase the video shortly after the incident, giving him control over damning evidence. Initially, when Cassie filed her lawsuit, Diddy publicly dismissed her claims as a money grab. His denial, supported by well-funded legal teams, sought to discredit her and protect his public image. The release of the video exposed the reality behind her allegations, forcing a shift in the narrative. It showed how systems of influence, combined with money and reputation management, can delay or distort accountability until undeniable proof surfaces. The fact that Diddy kept the video for years is a striking example of how privilege fosters a sense of invincibility. Holding on to evidence of his own abuse wasn't an oversight. It reflected a belief that wealth and connections would shield him from consequences. This sense of untouchability is at the core of the systemic failures that protect the powerful, even when their actions cause harm. The complicity of those around him adds another layer to the issue. From hotel staff willing to sell crucial evidence to an entertainment industry that benefited from his success, many prioritized their own interests over justice. These decisions perpetuated an environment where accountability felt impossible, leaving victims isolated and unsupported. The role of fear and self-interest in complicity. The influence of fear and self-preservation becomes apparent when examining how individuals choose silence over action in the face of wrongdoing. Fear, both rational and manufactured, acts as a powerful deterrent to speaking out against the wealthy and influential. Combined with self-interest, it creates a cycle where complicity thrives and accountability feels out of reach. Many who become aware of the crimes committed by powerful individuals find themselves trapped. The fear of retaliation looms large, especially when the person in question wields significant influence. Speaking out can come with serious risks, including professional blacklisting, public backlash, or even legal threats. In the case of Jeffrey Epstein, numerous associates and employees likely had first-hand knowledge of his activities. However, they chose to remain silent, understanding the potential consequences of crossing someone with connections to billionaires, politicians, and even royalty. This silence isn't always rooted in fear alone. Self-interest plays a significant role. Those within the inner circles of powerful individuals often benefit financially or socially from their proximity to wealth. Epstein's associates, for example, weren't just scared, they also stood to gain access to his connections and resources. Breaking that silence would have meant severing ties to a network that provided them with opportunities and privileges they might never achieve elsewhere. The entertainment industry offers similar examples. Employees and collaborators tied to figures like R. Kelly or Diddy have stayed quiet, not just to avoid retaliation, but to protect their own careers. Whistleblowers are often ostracized, and in industries where relationships are currency, speaking out can feel like professional suicide. This reluctance to act ensures that cycles of harm continue, as those closest to the truth often choose self-preservation over accountability. The fear of losing social standing is another factor that keeps people silent. High-profile figures often cultivate environments where loyalty is expected and dissent is punished. Those who speak out risk alienation from their social groups, particularly in circles where status is tied to access to wealth and power. This dynamic creates a culture of complicity, where even those who feel morally conflicted find it easier to look the other way. Breaking the cycle of wealth-driven impunity. Concluding this exploration, it's important to turn toward solutions that can challenge the impunity wealth affords. While the structures protecting the elite feel overwhelming, change is possible when individuals and institutions act with integrity and determination. The fight against unchecked privilege begins with those willing to speak out, those who uncover the truth, and those who demand accountability. Whistleblowers are often at the forefront of challenging powerful individuals and systems. Their willingness to expose hidden wrongdoing comes with significant risks, including threats to their safety, career, and personal lives. However, their actions have the potential to ignite meaningful change. Figures like former financier Harry Markopolos, who tried to expose Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, show how perseverance can eventually bring truth to light. The courage of whistleblowers not only reveals hidden crimes, but also inspires others to question the systems that allow such actions to occur. Investigative journalism plays a critical role in breaking the protective shield of wealth. Journalists uncovering stories like Jeffrey Epstein's crimes or the financial misdeeds of high-profile corporations prove how essential a free press is in holding the powerful accountable. The Miami Herald's investigative reporting into Epstein's actions and his lenient plea deal marked a turning point in public awareness. By bringing these hidden abuses into the spotlight, journalists force conversations that institutions often try to suppress. Activism and public pressure further strengthen the call for accountability. Social movements have historically been instrumental in challenging systemic inequality and abuse of power. The #MeToo movement, for example, amplified the voices of survivors, and led to significant legal and cultural shifts. It exposed how power structures had protected perpetrators for years and sparked global conversations about accountability, justice, and reform. Movements like these demonstrate that when society refuses to stay silent, even the most entrenched systems can begin to crack. The legal and policy landscape must also adapt to counter the impunity wealth affords. Strengthening protections for whistleblowers, increasing transparency in corporate and political dealings, and closing legal loopholes that allow the rich to evade justice are crucial steps. Implementing these changes requires persistent advocacy and the will to challenge the influence of money in governance and law. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more discussions that matter. Check out some of the other videos on the channel for more eye-opening topics. We've got plenty of conversations that dive into the systems shaping our world. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice is a part of the conversation too. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.